Greetings. What's up, everyone? I'm Evan. I'm the brand manager for Arma. I'm here with Andre Ov. He's our content manager. You might know Andre because he does a lot of, or most of the awesome screenshots for us. He's worked on the trailers, all the cool cinematics. You might not know that he's also on servers all the time. Well, if you play officially, you'll probably see him every night. And he's an avid Arma player. So we're gonna hopefully show people how it's done. I don't know, you're talking a lot of smack with Buracisco and Klamach, and so
yeah, it is.
Yeah, so maybe we can show something better.
Nah.
But probably not. No. But no, the goal today is going to be to rank up to show you how Andra approaches conflict. One thing, we are marketing, so we're not devs. And we won't be able to answer all your crazy technical questions. So we're basically going to be playing the game and talking more about the game, not necessarily all the fun, cool stuff and how it was made and what's coming next. So if you're cool with that, keep watching. So how are you feeling today? Have you done your stretches? Are you?
Yeah, I've done my mental gymnastics. Will be all right.
Mental
It'll
gymnastics, cool. So how are we going to approach this, or what's the idea?
We're just gonna play vanilla conflict. I'm gonna join a server. I've got the browser. Let me jump into the game screen.
Cool.
I'm gonna jump into an official server.
So are we going to wait in the queue with 13 people?
Nope, because there's absolutely no need to wait in queues. You got plenty of servers available whenever you wanna join a game. The key is to just seed a server that has enough players. Even if it's like 7 out of 40, you can join a server like this. Eventually it will fill up. That's what I do every evening when I play the game. I just join a server that has very little players, but the numbers eventually pick up, and it gets to full very quickly. Right now we're playing in Europe at 1 p.m, so it's not the prime time here, but we already have a couple of servers available. And if you look at community servers, we have even more. We've just had an update, so some of them are still waiting to update their games. Just give them a couple of hours; they'll all be up to date soon.
But this is actually another good point. If you do, hop into Reforger and a bunch of servers are not updated yet, you can play vanilla. I know a lot of people like mods. We love playing mods too, but our servers get updated pretty much when the update goes out, so they're always available.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, let's pick a good one.
All right, I'm gonna pick something. I don't want people to see which server I'm on, so I'm just gonna randomly go through these. Something interesting. This one doesn't look too bad.
Oh, not that. Okay, yeah. No, I'm just joking.
And from now on, I'm not gonna hear you,
Okay, sure.
so you can talk to yourself here.
Sure. That sounds perfect.
Here we go.
So you've got a ton of hours in Arma, right?
Too many.
Too many, yeah. So, but you started playing Arma when you started working here, which was what, a year ago, a bit over a year ago?
Reforger, yes.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Arma 1, Armed Assault, the original one, and Flashpoint before that. And then I became a console player. My headphones keep falling off. So I wasn't able to play Arma. But when I started working here, I got hooked on it pretty instantly. I bought a gaming PC, and then I've been playing 4 or 5 hours every night, almost every day.
Yeah, that's one
Way
thing.
too much.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that it's unique about you. A lot of people in the company spend all day in game working on stuff. Screen's still blurred, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. And then they go home and they don't want to play Arma, but you spend all day in Workbench and in the game, and then you go home and play more Arma, and a lot of people find that slightly unsettling about you, I would say. But yeah.
Hey, I have a hobby,
Yeah, sure. No,
I just really like the game. I mean, I've spent a lot of time playing other games.
What else do you play?
Single player games. I grew up on the Commodore 64 and PlayStation 1. I played a lot of Metal Gear Solid, those kind of games. In terms of multiplayer, I really got hooked into the 2019 Modern Warfare. I got 2.5, maybe 3,000 hours on that back on my old PS4, and that was a lot. But I wanted something that I could enjoy more, something I could relax in. Like Arma can be an intense game. Like it can be pretty hectic, it can be epic, but at the same time, it's relaxing. You know, I have this entire island. I can do anything I want. I don't have to go to the most crazy battle that's happening at the moment. I can go to the other side of the island and just capture a point from AI. I can just relax. It's not a Twitch shooter. It's not about who's faster. It's about whose tactics and positioning is better. Who's more accurate at distance, for example. You know, you can pretty much play the game any way you want. That's what I like. I don't have to stress about it. I can just log in, turn the game on, find a good server, and I stay in that server for the entire evening.
That's cool, and that's the way it should be played. Well, I mean, there are lots of ways to play, but Conflict is generally a slower burn. So, what's up, Slams? I see you there in the chat. Yes, I think I can learn something from Andre today. I don't think he can save me, and I'm not going to be playing because I don't want to intimidate everyone with my skills, or embarrass myself horribly. But no, I actually am hoping to learn something today because I don't have as many hours in Arma as Andre does, and I've been playing longer. I love the game, but you know what? I'm an old man, and my reflexes aren't what they used to be.
Well, the first thing that's absolutely wrong is this is our main base, and no one's built a radio on it, so it can only reach Quarry and Levy, which is just unacceptable. So once we build a radio, the range is gonna extend from 1k to 2k, and we're gonna be able to capture a lot more bases. That's the first thing. I see an arsenal over there. Just build a radio first. Arsenal can wait. You have a gun. You have a good loadout. The basic loadout is good enough. I'm gonna be using it for the most of the game.
So, and there are a lot of opinions. You know, I was just reading a thread on Reddit today about how the Soviet faction is so much better than the U.S. faction, especially the default loadout. Is that true?
Not at all. Both of the loadouts are good enough. Both of them have good weapons. Full auto, yeah, people say that argument. But I don't know if you've seen, I've already switched my weapon to semi-auto anyway. It's more accurate. Mm-hmm. It saves ammo. I just prefer it that way. Just take some bandages. There you go. And that's it. That's my loadout. I take, 8 to 10 max, 4 bandages, and that's it.
You don't grab extra morphine?
I don't have a hospital here. So
okay, that's right.
But one thing I do, it's usually pretty counterintuitive, I drop my armor, because I like to stay lightweight.
Wow.
So right now I'm 20 kilos, so my stamina is gonna be a lot better.
Okay, interesting. That's a risky move. Yeah, actually, one point that Josh, our senior narrative writer, who's a veteran, was making about the loadouts is that it's not that the AK does more damage, is that the Soviet plate armor is so much more effective than the American flak armor. So maybe that has something to do with it, or maybe
I usually don't use either.
Really?
I try to stay lightweight. I keep a helmet. A helmet saves my life, like almost every round. I always hear that dink when it hits my head and I'm still alive. But body armor I usually never wear. I just like to stay lightweight. And also, when you capture a point from FIA, usually you don't have, or never, you never have enough supplies for a radio right in the start. But you can loot FIA and drop their gear into the little arsenal boxes in the command tent.
Alright, maybe we can show people that.
Yeah, definitely, like these ones here. So you go to an FIA guy, you pick up his armor, his weapons, his backpack, everything, drop it in here, and if you do it enough, you actually have enough supplies to build a radio. And, I don't have an armor, so I can pick up more stuff.
Cool.
So we're gonna grab a car, we're gonna load it up with supplies already. There isn't a whole lot of supplies here, but we'll be alright. I don't have the rank for Cargo Buchanka yet, which is the best vehicle in the game. So I'm gonna have to make do with 180 supplies.
Yeah, that was a funny thing about the 1.3 update, is everyone else was excited for attack helicopters and mortars, and you were super hyped for the Cargo Buchanka. Why is that such a game changer for you?
It's just such a cool vehicle. It's small, it's fairly fast, and it can carry 800 supplies. It's perfect. Now we're gonna head over. We're gonna start capping the southern portion of the map, just to, by a third base, maybe a first base even, depends on how many AI I'm gonna encounter and if I'm gonna survive.
Sure.
We might get to Sergeant, which already unlocks pretty much anything in the arsenal. I'm gonna do one more thing I forgot.
Yeah, this is a good point, and there's something in the chat already about rank locking. So Scotty is saying, please rank lock the RPGs. It's widely overused. LAV is completely pointless to use when one RPG takes you out. So I think that's an interesting point because there's a reason why the RPGs aren't rank locked, and it's because if Soviets start with a BTR, right, you need something. You need to be able to do something about them. So
Exactly.
you know, the Americans need a law, or you know, if there is anything armored in game, you need something against it. So we can't really rank lock the RPGs straight off the bat.
Exactly. Like, imagine you just got into a game. You're private. You got nothing unlocked at all. You spawn in Morton that's currently under attack by helicopters. You want the anti-armor weapons to be able to defend yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Another one, another point too is that, you know, the LAV can be taken out with one RPG. I think, you know, there's a misconception with armored vehicles in general that these are, you know, completely or should be completely impenetrable, you know, armored fortresses that you ride around in, but they're not. You know, these are light armored vehicles. It's not really an oversight that they can be taken out by an RPG, but a well-placed RPG can take out light armored vehicles, so you have to bear that in mind when you have them.
Those vehicles are meant to be used as transport, safe from small arms, and from a distance. That's why the LAV has a 7x scope, so it can actually attack from a distance. The BTR or the BRDM has 2.6 scope. You know, you park it 500-600 meters away from an enemy, and you just suppress an area. You're not meant to, you know, drive headfirst into an FIA checkpoint and expect to live. You know,
well, that's a good tip for me then. No, I'm just joking. I don't do that.
I remember my first ever stream we did here when I started working here. I got into a BTR with Niles or Nillers, and we died within like 3 minutes because he drove into an FIA checkpoint.
All right, I think an oversight maybe.
I was a complete beginner back then. I was like, oh shit, we got a BTR. We're gonna make it so far. Nah, we didn't.
So we got questions. All right, can you teach us where to use mortars, like best positions, etc.? I'm not sure if we'll get to it today, but it's a good shout. So maybe we'll keep it in mind if we do have a chance to set up some mortars. Different main locations to keep the game fresh. We can't say exactly what's going to happen with that, but there will be some changes come into conflict at some point in a future update, and that might be something that's included. Right, reading chat.
Right now I'm taking Quarry. I'm gonna take the high ground.
Sure. Is there anything else you can tell us? Not really. So actually, I said it at the beginning of the stream, and maybe I'll say it again, but we're not devs. We're the marketing guys, and we got some inside info, but there's not much we can say at this point. So really, we're just going to be talking about what's here now and how to make the most of it. So AP mines when it's in the roadmap. So at some point, what was the update for? The update was just a minor update with some fixes and optimizations, so there were not any major features in this update today.
There may be some leaks in the future, you know, stay tuned on our socials, but at the moment we can't show anything yet. I think I went a little too far. No, we're good. Yeah, since 1.3, enemy AI got dangerously accurate. But they're not exactly strategic masterminds. So if you move a lot, shoot from cover, relocate, they're gonna keep covering the area where you fired from originally. So you can flank, attack, just keep moving, and you should be right. And now watch me say all of this and get one tapped in a second.
Yeah, you're gonna wish you had your
It's
best.
about 200 meters. There we go. He's down. I'm gonna take a few more and I'm gonna reposition.
All right, so some questions. What does managing Arma 3 entails? Well, actually, I'm the brand and marketing manager for Arma 3 and Reforger. So this is, you know, all the communication that comes out, all the videos you guys see. I'm the guy coordinating people to do that. Andre's making a lot of it. We got a few people in the team and in other teams helping with it, so that's what we do. AI improvements. The AI is always being improved. We can't give any specifics about what's going to be improved and when. Commander feature in the game. Yeah, that's on the roadmap. And Klamach, when will he return with his riddles? I don't know, but we'll have to ask him. Maybe we'll tell him that there's a request for some more riddles, because, yeah, those are fun. I don't think he forgot to. Well, I don't know. I think he just kind of does what he wants, and so...
that sounds like him.
Yeah, he probably just didn't happen to think of it for a little while, but we'll remind him to think about it.
To be fair, in 1.3, we kind of stole his thunder when it came to leaks. We were the ones leaking stuff mostly.
Slams says F2 and F3 for 0. Ew.
I mean, page up, page down is super far on the keyboard, man. F2, F3 is right above my middle finger, so I can reach it. I actually have it set up on my mouse at home, but right now on this mouse, on mouse 5, I've got the third person, and on mouse 4, I got free look. So I got it easy within reach.
So why do you use third person? Is that for peeking around walls and cheating like a filthy cheater?
No, I'm not Shimon.
Okay.
No, in combat, I just use first person. It's just a lot more immersive. Wait, let me kill that guy over there. There we go. Oh, no, he's still alive. Oh no, he's seen better days. Okay. And third person, I just use when I'm just, passing time, when I'm traveling somewhere, when I'm building a base and there's no one else around there. Because, the game's pretty, and I just like to look at the assets, the vehicles, the way the light plays on it. Sometimes I just like to take pictures. So for that, I use third person, just so it, I'm just not looking at the screen like this. But when I'm in combat, I switch to first person, and it's a lot more immersive. Third person peeking is boring.
Tell the devs we want more dev videos. We will tell them, and we will force them to get on camera as we usually do. Usually the part you don't see is where we're twisting their arm and putting them in headlocks right before we get them on camera, but we'll do more of that.
Where is this boy? Alright, how are we looking? He's dead, isn't he? Oh no.
Nope.
I told you to die. That's a good boy.
Well done.
Alright, we got at least one more down there. Oh, wrong button. And we're almost at Corporal.
That was quick.
If you're still alive and kill enough enemies and capture enough bases, you can get to Sergeant within like 20 minutes. It's pretty fast.
So yeah, back to rank lock then, because that's part of the reason we're doing this, is to show that it's not too hard to rank up. But what's your opinion on the rank lock restrictions? Honestly,
I like it. First of all, it forces people to earn their weapons. You don't have just Rambos running right from the start of the game. Back before 1.3, a match started, someone built an arsenal, and people just started grabbing machine guns, sniper rifles. It was just all over the place. Right now, the match starts, and you just have basic riflemen. And your equipment progresses throughout the game as you earn it. It also changes up the gameplay. I love sniping. Like, that was always my go-to. Just take a sniper rifle and go. But right now, I just have to... Come on, man, just die.
So, message from Klamach, bayonet people. I think that's an order. Yeah. And actually, there was a comment that I meant to reply to that I just scrolled up. Hold on a sec.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding, Klamach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I wish Klamach was here for this question, because they were saying, or not a question really, but we need suppression effects when being fired at.
No.
Yeah,
I fully agree with Klamach.
All right.
No.
Yeah, there are a lot. There's lots of schools of thought here. Our good friend Ironbeard, who made this shirt for me, actually, shout out Ironbeard, because he's always asking me to fix the game, and that's what marketing does, is fixes the game.
Are you gonna?
I'm working on it now. I'm sourcing feedback from the community to fix the game. Yeah, Ironbeard definitely feels like there should be suppression, and he's made a really cool suppression mod that's in his season secure game modes and on his server. So if you want to check out some suppression, you can check out those mods or Ironbeard servers. Klamach and Andre don't like suppression. Why not?
Because it just feels artificial. Like, a single bullet flies past you and you start seeing blurry and everything starts jittering. That's really not how it is. I've actually had bullets fly over me. And, you see clearly. You don't see everything blurry and in rainbow colors and all those kinds of fake effects.
When did you have bullets flying over you?
Well, that's a long past, but when I was a photographer in Ukraine.
Oh yes, that's right.
Let's see, just need to find the last
So
guy.
and just playing the devil's advocate. I mean, I kind of like Suppression. I don't know. I think it's fun to fear for your life that way. I mean, the argument for it is that. I mean, the argument against it is that you should fear for your life without your screen getting all funny. And
yeah, exactly. I value my life in the game as the character already.
Yeah.
I don't need an artificial effect. Whoa! Oof. See? I value my life.
So, but I mean, what about, you know, like, for me, if I have some visual cue or auditory cue that I am being suppressed, well, I guess it's always auditory because you can hear the bullets and stuff. But that would make me more scared. So isn't that better?
I mean, there is an option for that. There's a mod. So if you really want suppression, you can always just load up a mod in your server or in your private game, and you can do it that way. That's no problem at all. That's the beauty of Arma. If you want it, there's most likely a mod for it.
Yeah. And for check, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry.
Hey man.
You're trying to level up your rank in a lab environment. On a real server, the match would end before you become lieutenant, especially you didn't log into the server when the mission started. Well, I mean, I guess that's fair enough. This is a real server, but we didn't jump. Yeah, we
live
didn't.
Server, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't jump in
but
late into the match.
That's the thing. Like, if you want to level up, usually not a good idea to join a full server or wait in a queue, because when you get in there, the game's halfway finished or even more, and you just have to live with the fact that you're just going to be a grunt, just a regular rifleman trying to survive until the end. Whereas I like to seed, you know, low population servers, which is gonna help in the longer run when more players can play the game instead of just sitting in the queue.
Yeah.
I don't even remember last time I waited in a queue, because I just joined a server that
doesn't
has
have
less players.
Yeah. Scotty, Russia doesn't do the OP. Oh, okay, so Scotty's still in the RPG thing. Yeah, it's not that the U.S. starts with the LAV, but imagine you spawn into a match and you're in a base which is being attacked by an LAV, and you need to do something about it. The match is not at the beginning, the match is midway through, but you've just joined, so you might need that RPG. But I don't think we're going to solve this whole issue right now, but that's the thinking behind it, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I just dropped in some intel. You don't have to drop in every single piece of intel. It shows you whether it's a valuable info or not. For example, this one. Oh, this one is. Because it shows you the exchanges intel at a friendly arsenal for reward. And I'm gonna take his RPG, his backpack, his vest.
Free gear.
No, I don't know. I'm not gonna use it.
Oh, I see.
But if you look in the arsenal, it has 100 supplies. I dropped the rockets, I dropped the vest, dropped the backpack, the RPG. And now it is 182. So I do this a few more times and I get enough supplies for radio. I don't even need to bring a car with supplies. It just saves time. It wasn't possible before 1.3 because we didn't have these arsenals in the HQ tents. So it's a fairly new thing that not everyone knows, but it actually speeds up the capture process a bit. If you don't have enough FIA gear around, like you got to a base that someone captured before you and all the bodies already despawned, and you're, how to say it nicely, out of luck, you can always dismantle these defense positions. They give you around 120 supplies. You pick up. Whoa!
Uh-oh.
They came from the checkpoint on the road.
Uh-huh.
Kritsi Palba. I'll show you Kritsi Palba.
Yeah, I think that's something that everyone who's not Czech in the community wants to know. What are they saying?
Covering fire.
Covering fire. So Kritsi Balba means covering fire. It's not cheeky Balba.
Can you stop shooting at me? It's so rude.
Except at Monty, you can't demolish any structure. Huh. Well, that's
I
news to
can't
me.
hear you right now. I'm listening for Kritsi Palba.
Let me talk to you a lot right now.
Nefritelný známý stan. Come on. Yeah, there's this checkpoint down the road. And usually when you capture this base, that's their...
really?
What?
Keep playing, keep playing. I just got to give the roll up to someone. I didn't know they were leaving.
What am I? Oh.
Thank you. No problem, no problem. So,
Alright, he's still covering that angle he saw
I'm
me
excited.
last, so I can just flank and hopefully surprise him from the side. Because he does not know that I already repositioned. He's still shooting at that bunker over there. Hey, have you got any intel? Nope.
So why is he shooting but not at you?
Because he's covering the area I was on, and he still thinks I'm somewhere around there. And you know, it's supposed to be just covering fire, but it can be effective. Like, you can catch a stray and die pretty quickly if you stay in the same spot. They're not aiming at you, they're aiming at your general location. Hello. But it can kill you. Some people think that AI is super accurate at distance. They're actually not. You just caught a stray. Whoa! Oh! Now I just lost my veteran bonus. God damn it.
Man.
That's alright. I can
It's
spawn there
alright.
and kill him back.
Yeah, it's a good thing you don't lose rank when you die.
Yeah.
Which was an idea, or some people have suggested. I don't know.
Change it to
that might
100
not be too much fun.
meters. Where are you at? Whoa!
I don't know. I feel like the AI is pretty goated. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the AI is always a tricky one because we get people saying both. Why do the AIs have laser vision and can shoot you from 2 miles away, with an AK or whatever they're carrying? And then we've got people saying they're super dumb and can't do anything. So it's really hard to strike a balance. And I feel like this is a pretty good balance right here. But yeah, they're decent.
Just keeps moving. Yeah, like for example, AI can see through grass, which is not ideal. But don't ask me if we're ever gonna change that, because I'm not a dev. It would be nice if they couldn't. But once you have AI over a certain little hill or anything, and there's grass in the way, reposition, because you're not gonna win that fight.
They can't see through smoke though, can they? They're really bad with smoke. Or did they fix that?
What was that?
I said they're really bad with smoke though, right?
They throw it all the time.
Or no, I mean seeing through smoke.
Oh, yeah, they can't see through smoke,
Yeah,
but they
that's
can
what-
still shoot through smoke. So if you stay in your last position before they threw the smoke, they will keep shooting through it. I'm not paying attention to this guy right now. Where is he? There he is. Ah! Gotcha. Yeah, they're from that checkpoint over there. They always come in. Alright. Whoa! Yeah, I'm good. Alright, time to build a radio. Now I'm a corporal, so at this time I would probably build an arsenal at a base that has enough supplies, because I love me some SVD with iron sights.
Changeable skill levels for AI. Probably not in vanilla in the base game. There are mods for that.
There are mods for that, definitely.
Yeah, so
yeah.
And that is one thing. I mean, we always say it for a lot of things, but if you can't change it in base game, there is usually a mod for it. So we give people the freedom to be able to change as much as they can about the game, and that means you might have to do a little bit of searching, but you can do it.
Also, there's one thing a lot of people may not know. It's a basic thing that a lot of people do know, but it's nice mentioning. I just captured Quarry, and every base has a 1 kilometer radius that it can reach. So I can right now reach main operating base, so the spawns are enabled, the supply generation is enabled, but it's only 1 kilometer. That's why I can only reach Quarry, and Levy can reach Quarry, but Quarry cannot reach back because it's already too far. But once you build a radio, There you go, third person, because I'm just chilling. Or you could just fast forward this. Oh, quick tip. If you're building and you, for example, I don't know, open your inventory, you keep building and you don't need to hold the button.
Nice.
It's a feature, not a bug. I usually do it with inventory so I can actually see around me. But yeah, there you go. You don't have to hold the button every single time, especially when you're building like a heavy vehicle depot. That one takes a while. And yeah, now that I built the radio, you see, all of these bases are suddenly connected. Black Lake, Duras, Vernon, Penance Pass, Regina Tower. So all of these are connected to this base. Suddenly the supply generation went up because it got connected to more bases. Instead of just one, it's connected to 3, so it's getting 3 supplies per tick. And if I capture more bases, it will get up to 5. So now I can go all the way to Vernon and Saint Pierre if I want to bypass these two. Gonna pop some supplies in here. Wait, what did he have?
You can also press backslash and do the same. Interesting.
Yeah, chat. When I open chat, I have it disabled right now because we're live streaming and I don't wanna,
reveal the chat, whatever is going on in
yeah,
there.
you never know.
Yeah.
We don't have enough supplies for anything here. Radio's enough for now. I'm gonna bring my car, my radio, and move on to, well, we're gonna try Black Lake. These headphones are not made for 1 ear.
So anything about DLSS, FSR, and frame generation? Nope. We don't have any news on it. And I can't really give you the inside scoop on what the thinking is there. I mean, I think the general thinking is there are lots of things to improve without adding something like that, and there are a lot of caveats to adding something like that. So it's not in the cards right now.
I mean, the key is to have the game optimized without relying on these AI things first, which is why I'm super happy the game plays the way it does at the moment. Like, I can run it on my home PC at pretty stable frame rates on Ultra, and I don't have a high-end card. And I was thinking like DLSS or anything like this. There's a lot of foliage, a lot of moving stuff, and DLSS doesn't really play well with that.
Why not disable third-person view? Let it enable only for vehicles. Some servers do that, so it's really, we're not going to disable it for the base game and for official servers, but a lot of community servers do that, and that's fair enough. Like, there are good reasons to disable third-person view.
Exactly. Yeah. Just gonna drop these in here. Boom. Oh, I hear a Huey. Oh, wrong way.
Are we planning to adjust gunplay depending on weapon weight? I don't think, well, it's definitely not in the roadmap, and I'm not aware of any plans to do so. But you might have to ask someone like Klamach for that, because I'm just the marketing guy.
Black Lake is usually easier captured when you have a sniper rifle. It's a very open area. AK is not the best thing to do that with. Well, we'll manage.
Anonymous 888, it's called Staying True to the Series because Arma always had third person, and that's very true. So this third person was a requirement for Arma Reforger, and we're not taking it out.
There is this thinking behind it that, in real life, yeah, you're looking at the world through your eyes as third person, but you know where your body is, you know where your feet are, where your arms are, whereas in the game there is no way to convey that in first person game. So that's why you sometimes can switch to third person, so you can actually see what position your body's in, where it is, where your feet are, what your arms are doing. It just feels natural that way. I'm going at it wrong way. There's lots of foliage in the way.
I think it was Marek Spaniel himself said, try walking around with a box on your face and see how natural that feels. That's basically what you're seeing here in first person, so that's why third person, is kind of the other side of the coin.
And not just that, but somehow, stop feeling your feet and arms and hands.
Blitzbore, thank you. That's awesome.
Alright, I'm coming here from a very bad angle. Alone? That should be alright. We'll be alright.
It'll be fine.
We're just here to have fun. Hey man, Kirti Palba. It's not Cheeky Balba, it's Kirti Palba.
Power grid system is on the roadmap. Soon, I wouldn't be able to promise anything, but it's there, and we will complete everything that is on the roadmap.
I made a mistake in the previous base. I didn't tag it on my objectives list, so when I actually captured it, I got less XP than I could have.
Which means we're gonna have to stream for 4 hours to rank up
At
the captain.
least.
At least 4 hours.
That's my usual play session, you know.
Yeah.
No, longer actually.
So what's your go-to at night? So you're mostly an official server guy, or what else do you play?
My most hours are in official, that's true. But But recently I started delving more into modded. Surprisingly, after it launched on PS5, that's when I really started getting into modded servers. I like the AAS game mode. WC has got a really nice Mark 14, which I love using. Oh, you're trying to save him? It's too bad. Some of the PvE milsim servers, like the 75th Rangers, they use the very nice Kunar map. Come on.
What's up, Task Force? How are you doing, man?
Hey, man.
What do we think about American cargo helicopters such as Chinook? I mean, great helicopters. Are we going to have them in the game? Probably not. Is there a mod for that already? I think so.
Yeah, there's a Chinook, there's a Black Hawk, there's an Apache, a Little Bird. There's all kinds of helicopters. Once the framework is there for it, I guess you can do whatever.
Yeah. WCS is doing a really good job. Yes, they are. Shout out Clean and Cyborg Mad and all the rest of the WCS guys. Those are some great servers.
They got really good performance, you know, solid mods. Yes, it's a lot of mods to download, so for PlayStation I guess it's a bit of weight, but it's worth it. They're really fun servers. And this is when I'm switching to full auto, because I'm getting close. But I'm still tapping anyway. I just have it just in case I get surprised. But tap firing is still more accurate. Oh, I hear you. But he was over here. That's what you get when you don't want your headphone. Oh! I saw him just
inverted character check. Oh yeah, so Rohit John, sorry I'm pronouncing your name wrong. The forums are being worked on. We had to take them down. There was an influx of bot spam. We had to upgrade a whole bunch of stuff. It's being cleaned up. It's taking longer than expected. We don't have an ETA for it, but yeah, it turned out to be a much bigger problem than it looked like when we decided to take them down to fix it. But it's being worked on, so sorry for the delay on that. Can we expect Malden Island? Not in the base game. There's no plans for that. But
He's
we
right
are
here. Come on.
But we are working on Kolguyev, and it's looking really cool so far. And we might be releasing a little bit of info and stuff at some point before we release the actual map, because we want to show the progress. It's actually a very cool looking map so far. Does the med tent speed up the healing time if you're injured? I don't think so, right?
I'm not sure if it speeds up,
but you can fully
you
heal.
can be healed fully by someone else when you're in the med tent. They grab the medical box and they can heal you fully when you're in there.
Is there anything planned for the commander seat for the LAV as the BTR has a periscope? So periscopes are in the works, and I think Rafael, one of the devs, mentioned it because he works with RHS. RHS has periscopes. We're trying to do periscopes a little bit differently, so it's taking a little bit longer, but they are in the works. So yeah, the commander seat should get a periscope. BF3 level destruction when? Yeah, I think the destruction for Arma Reforger is where it's going to be for Arma Reforger, and maybe Klamach can elaborate on that at a later date if there are any additional plans. But as far as I know, the main goal of destruction for Reforger was basic building destruction as they have now. Any news for Kolguyev map? No news, just that we're working on it and it's looking awesome. We can't give you ETAs or any sneak peeks just yet, but we're thinking about starting to do so. So I know that's a non-answer, but that's what I got.
It's looking really good.
Yeah, it's looking cool.
It's worth the wait. That's what I would say. And we got supplies. There we go.
Arma 4 question, no comment. Is the map with mines on... What? With the mines on it? Or is it? Oh, yeah. So, Kolguyev, yeah, is the map with mines in it. If it's not BF level, just take it out. Probably not. I think we're going to leave it in.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Useful, yeah. I'll look at you getting all cinematic with it while you're waiting.
Chilling.
That's awesome.
There you can find these loiter spots around the map. In front of the command tents, on the backside of the arsenals. Loiter spots are cool.
So actually, speaking of cinematic, that was something that was... well, when I hired you, I didn't know that you would become the crazy screen shooter extraordinaire you have become. And I remember warning you. I said, Workbench is very difficult, and a lot of people don't want to learn it. And I said, don't try it. You're probably going to get frustrated. And within 2 weeks, you were already, doing really well in Workbench. How did you find it? Like, what helped you get started? Like, how did you do that, basically? And I'm glad you did. But
people in the company that showed me the basics, how to even actually open a map and place assets in there, because that was the first thing I had no idea how to do. I had this program that I couldn't even open a map in. I had no idea what I was doing. Where's the supplies?
So do you think maybe the community would benefit from some sort of screen shooting tutorial like that?
Definitely planning on making one.
Yeah.
Vladimir, our cinematic mastermind, he's behind all the YouTube trailers, has done a VFX tutorial a couple years ago, but of course it's already outdated because Infusion's changed a lot since then. So he said he's working on a part 2 or an updated version, but I don't know when that's coming. But I want to do a photography oriented one as well, just for stills in Infusion. And I'm thinking maybe doing a 2-parter, one in Workbench, but plenty of people just work in Game Master because they don't have a PC. And for them, just doing like a tutorial in Game Master might not be a bad idea as well. Because like the first bunch of screenshots I did over here were just in Game Master because I didn't know how to use Workbench.
Yeah, I remember the early screenshots in Game Master weren't bad at all, but you've gone definitely through the roof with your skill level in Workbench. So, console question. Let's see. Oh, about seasons. Alright,
let's go for Saint Pierre.
Seasons for Arma Reforger are not. For all maps, dynamically changing it is not something we have planned right now. Any plans for things such as a DLC for Arma Reforger? There's nothing concrete at the moment for DLCs for Arma Reforger. Optimize console performance. So, I think one thing that we mention a lot and probably needs to be mentioned again and forever is that we're always optimizing for all platforms. And so if there are console or if there are crashes specific to consoles or things we can optimize specific to console, we do that. But this is always being worked on. So a good example is the update today. We didn't add any new assets or systems, but these were all optimizations and fixes. So we know it's not as sexy and cool and fun when you download that update and the game looks the same, but the fact is the game's running a lot better than it was before this update. Well, ideally, let's hope it's running a lot better. But we're always working on this stuff. So yes, we are doing that. And I guess that also applies to the fixed freezing for console. What's the main issue cause crashes for PS5 after update mods? So that's, it seems like a simple question, but it's not really a simple question because mods are all community made, and the crashes that are caused with mods are specific to each mod. So I can't tell you what mods you're using and what crashes there would be. And actually, even if you did tell me, I wouldn't know what crashes are specific to each mod. But it basically, we try and work with modders to help fix crashes and mods that crash the most. But we can't just stop the mods from crashing. We also can't fix all the mods. Like a lot of people were hoping today that this update would fix the RHS mod. Our updates won't fix the mods. The mod makers have to fix their mods, and our updates fix the base game. Oh, server authoritative.
It's arrived.
Nice.
Like a glove.
So I hope that answers your question. Will console be able to get more than 60 FPS? I mean, this is another more complicated question than it sounds like. FPS in Arma Reforger depends on so much stuff. So, whereas you might be thinking, hey, I get, high FPS on this single-player first-person shooter game, Reforger is simulating so much stuff across the map at all times. So it's not just about the graphics card. A lot of it's CPU dependent. Anyways, I can't answer your question about will you be able to get 60 FPS on whatever console you're using in the future. But again, we're always trying to optimize the game so that performance on console will be as good as it can be. I guess I didn't fix the game enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a vote kick.
Yeah. Vote kick would be good. What do you think about RHS, and how big is the collaboration with the devs over the game? Well, I mean, RHS has been around for what? Is it 20, 25 years? They've been around since the beginning of Arma, modding Arma. We have a bunch of RHS members working with us, working for us. Rafael is one of them, Mathieu. Who else? There are a bunch of...
Leon, I think, as well.
Is Leon RHS? Oh, yeah, that's right. I think Leon's RHS now, too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of overlap. We're in contact with them. They work for us, or some of their guys work for us, and in their spare time they work for RHS. So there's connections there.
A lot of the guys actually started as modders and made it over here
to
work as devs, but they stayed modders.
Yep, Rafael's a good example of that.
Exactly, yeah.
Rafael's an interesting one, and actually, we did a Make Arma Not War podcast. We just released it yesterday, 2 days ago. And he talks about how he got into modding because he got Reforger and it was in a bit less of a playable state upon early access launch, and so he wanted to figure out how he could make use of the game he just bought, and so he started modding it, and a couple years later he joined Bohemia. So if you haven't checked it out, check out that podcast. It's with a bunch of mod enthusiasts who work for us, talking about mods and how they play and their journey through modding, basically.
Alright, I'm gonna splurge out a little. I'm going back to main base because I don't want to waste supplies anywhere else. I'm just gonna make my preferred loadout. I already made it to Sergeant, which unlocks pretty much everything you need in the arsenal. The only thing for the Russian faction or Soviet faction that it doesn't unlock is the PKMN, but that's such a powerful weapon that it makes sense. So do we have we have an ambulance. I don't need a hospital. Alright, just put this so it doesn't fall off, and I'm gonna open the arsenal. Let me just throw this on the ground. Get naked. Hello.
You should blur the screen for that. I don't know if we can show that.
KZS. There you go, so I'm less visible. Take these, put them in my pants, and my favorite weapon in the game, SVD, scope, and because it's only 10 round max, I usually take around 10 to 15, oh, too many, 10 to 15 max, because unlike the beginning, I expect to survive for as long as possible. And I also am gonna take some medical equipment, but I want it in my trousers, and to make it quicker, there we go. 4 morphines, 2 tourniquets, 4 bandages. Take my stuff back. And if I was to save my loadout now with the scope in my vest, it costs 176 supplies. That's a lot because the scope is expensive. But if you put it on the weapon and save it, boom, we're 75 supplies cheaper. I just need to put these in here.
Lore-wise, are the FIA and Arma Reforger connected to the FIA in prior games, or is it just by name? So that's a very interesting question because Arma Reforger lore is a bit of a gray area. You'd have to ask Ivan Buchta, the creative director, who's the mastermind of all of this. But his answer to this is that FIA in conflict in Arma Reforger are primarily a game mechanic. So as far as the reason why they're attacking both armies and why they haven't picked a side, there are a lot of kind of what ifs here, but primarily in Arma Reforger, the FIA are there to have an AI faction that fights against both sides. So that's the official answer.
Where's the light vehicle? There we go. I'm gonna grab a cargo buchanka.
Depache Loco.
Hey man.
Shout out. What's the process been for balancing and fine-tuning what gets unlocked and what rank? I wish I could tell you. I've said it a couple times. We don't have the inside scoop on everything. What?
We got a stream sniper.
Oh, really?
Hello.
Hello, guy. Nice move.
He's saluting.
Cool.
He's in the chat, I saw.
Okay, nice.
We played before.
So I don't have a good answer for you, but all I know is that it did go through quite a few iterations internally, lots of opinions, lots of arguing back and forth, and what we've settled on here is the outcome of that. But that's not to say that it might not get further tweaked in the future. So we'll see.
All right. So what are we gonna do? Let me just slow down. We can capture Saint-Pierre. Both sides only have one main base each at the moment, so it's a pretty slow burn. I'm probably gonna stop by over here, supply Camerac, because that one really needs it. That's a key point for us right now. Build an arsenal there, but what are we on in terms of rank? We want to rank up as well, don't we?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what we're here.
I'll be here all day.
Yeah, alright, you know what? Camerac can survive. We're gonna go seize the Raz, Fakir, Saint-Pierre. It should be fairly quick.
Oh, you said Fakir. Sorry, I didn't hear. I thought you were cursing like we're gonna siege the Raz. Heck yeah. Sort of.
Nighttime is coming, my favorite. Except when I have a studio light aimed at my face. Xolox, how many servers did you go through before you found me? 45. I guess trying to change my name to something incognito doesn't work when it shows up in the build menu.
I still think we should have called ourselves Ironbeard Official.
Yeah,
That'd
be funny.
Yeah. Are there going to be any new factions? Nike Hoodie, no. You're correct. There are no new factions planned for Arma Reforger.
There's many very nicely made modded factions. Like, RHS has plenty of factions. There is a Polish army, there is Croatian army, Turkish army. The Pachaloco made a beautiful mod for British army. So there's plenty of factions to choose from in mods.
Any chance we could get a favorites list for GMs, like a top 5-10 list of commonly placed items during ops? Stuff GMs drop down regularly would make mission setup play a lot quicker. That's a good idea. I don't know what the chances of that are. I do know that Nillers has a wish list of GM features that was passed along to the dev team a couple of times, and maybe I'll follow up on that because he had. I think that might have actually been something on that list. But there are some ways that we could improve GM for sure. Has Duras objective been discussed at all? I'm not sure I want to say what happens at Duras. I'm unsure if what happens there is a feature or an unintentional side effect.
Whatever happens in Duras stays in Duras.
Now I'm curious. What happens in Duras? Please tell me. Is it horrible?
Do you mean the infinite supplies? Because there's a supply depot right above it.
Oh, that might be it.
And FIA respawns at supply depots. So Duras is constantly under attack by FIA, but that's just because they're in proximity. If that's what you mean.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It sounds a little spicy. Are there any plans to make the AI smarter? Yeah, we've already been talking about it on stream. A lot of people want AI smarter. A lot of people want AI dumber. We're always trying to strike a balance. There might be AI tweaks in the future, but we feel like they're in a pretty good state right now. But yeah, like who just said this? Well, okay. Now the message has been retracted. Never mind. But yeah, probably some tweaks, but nothing major. Are there any way that helicopter controls will get more like Arma 3 and not arcade and bad feeling? Or will this be a mod add-on most likely? Yeah, I mean, most things can be modded, and I would think that helicopter controls fall within that. But we're not planning on changing the flight model for Arma Reforger. Yep, it's the infinite supplies at Duras. That's what Scotty was talking about.
Yeah, because the supply depot's up there, and if you build like a helipad and everything here, it can actually reach into that supply depot, and it regenerates every so often, so you pretty much get infinite supplies.
Yeah.
There's one guy down the road.
So it's somewhere between a bug and a feature.
Yeah.
It's known. Any plans to have FIA main playable faction in conflict?
No comment.
No comment. I don't know why I read the question if we're gonna no comment it though.
Yeah. Someone there? Oh, there is.
Storage capacity on console question. We don't know. If there is an opportunity to do so, we'll let you know, but we don't know.
It's set by the platforms. Well, we'll see. You see what? This is why it's my favorite gun in the game, along with the M21. The 7.62 is just one-hit wonder.
And why are you no-scoping it?
Well, because I'm fighting up close.
Oh, okay.
You can also, when you put a scope on, you can switch to irons, but it's covering a lot of my screen. So I just keep it in my bag. If I ever need it, it's there. And also the iron sights on the SVD are so nice. I prefer them over the AK iron sights as well. Is that an American? Oh, that's an American. All the way here? Did he turn around? Any RPGs here? Nope. Nope, nope. I think this guy had an RPG over here.
Any plans to see a stream where devs play together in a PvE scenario? Yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe we'll do it. We've been kicking around a few more ideas for streams, so. Could you please focus to repair the mods in RHS Pack 1 and 2? Yeah, we cannot repair the mods. The community, it makes the mods, and they need to repair the mods. So we can help them with it a little bit, but we don't make the mods. Any plans for combat ops updates, like AI driving stuff? Not in the roadmap right now.
I can still try and save that car. Oh no, there's no wrench in there, is there? Ah. Ooh. That's the helicopter.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, what's he doing all the way here? He's really got no options to capture or anything, but he's having fun, I guess.
Wrecking you.
Could be someone from the stream as well. And that was the Well, that blew up.
Mm.
And my radio was bugged out, so I couldn't. But we captured the base. We're good. Now I'm gonna do a Hail Mary and drive all the way to Saint Pierre.
Oh, great! A nighttime combat.
Yeah, my favorite.
So we should adjust our gamma, shouldn't we?
No, this is where it gets good. There's a lot of FIA checkpoints on the way, so it might hurt, but we'll give it a try.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to say nighttime combat is a lot better in more recent versions of Reforger, because I do remember back in the day, I literally couldn't see anything, and this is these days it's possible to do things.
Especially when back in the day AI could see you at night the same way they could see you in the day. Now it's been tweaked, and their visibility is lowered in nighttime, so you can actually sneak up on AI at night pretty well. You just can't be stomping around with your flashlight out expecting not be seen. It's really hard with this light right in my face, though.
Yeah.
Usually when I play at night, I just turn off all the lights at home, and
should I move the light? I mean, it's gonna.
No, we're gonna be.
We could be in the dark while the stream's in the dark.
Or I can log in as GM and change it to daytime.
Any plans to add NVGs to the base game? No, there are no plans right now to add NVGs to Reforger. Any plans to add mods to the vanilla game? No, that's not something we do. One, we can't steal modders' work, but two, like, you can't just add things like a bunch of mods and expect them to work right. Plus, we'd have to maintain them. It's really a complicated thing, and so on any kind of scale, there's really no plans.
We're gonna catch a rocket.
That's all I can say.
We're gonna catch a rocket. Oh no! Of course.
Oh!
That's gotta be someone from the stream, man.
You think so?
Yeah, he knew exactly where I was.
I don't see. Yeah, he's. Why don't you get into GM and just throw him into the ocean?
Could.
No, we would never do that.
There was no way he knew where I was.
Yeah.
Well, we can try again, I guess.
Yeah, try again. See if it happens again. Go somewhere else, and see if the helicopter finds you. Oh, now he can not find us on purpose to throw us off.
Yeah, I can already hear
We
it,
see
though.
you if you're stream sniping us.
Did you turn my hazards on? Where is it? There.
Another question. Will you add to the base game to mods? Will we add the base game to mods?
Yes.
Yeah. Every mod will also contain the Arma Reforger base game. No, that's also not in the roadmap at this point.
Will you add the base game to the base game? And fix it. Evan. I mean, he must have run out of rockets at this point, right?
Are we running a delay on the stream?
It's like 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah, so.
I can hear him. I can hear him.
Alright.
Hey, at least maybe he killed the FIA on that checkpoint, so now we have a better chance of driving through.
Yeah, but not before he kills you again.
Look, I'm gonna stay here. There's no way he can see me here.
That gunship is in fact still around.
Yeah, it is.
What happened to Koluguyev? It is in development. What's this update that I'm downloading about? It's just a bunch of fixes and optimizations. It's a minor update. No new features in there. Just things to make stuff run better. So, when people do ask a lot, like, will you optimize the game? We are optimizing the game. We're always working on it.
When I was driving down this road a second ago, and I was saying we're gonna catch a rocket, I expected this rocket, not the helicopter one. We're not doing well.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna make it to captain. What are we at?
Yeah,
now?
I'm almost lieutenant.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, how are we gonna get there? I'm gonna take the long road then, I guess.
Question for Ovi and Evan. Oh, this is an interesting one. What was the first military game you played, realistic or not? So, for me, because I'm old,
Ready to try again?
I played Marathon, which most people don't know, but I guess everyone knows because Bungie's remaking it now. But it was originally a first-person shooter just for Mac in the 90s, and it was a great game. It had a super crazy storyline, and yeah, I loved all 3 marathons. I played them all. And it actually did have multiplayer back then. It was one of the first-person shooters with pretty good multiplayer.
First military game you played?
Yeah, yeah.
Does Contra count?
Oh well, Contra. Yeah, I played Contra. I was thinking FPS, but yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Flashpoint. My favorite Call of Duty to this day is still the first one. That one was just brilliant, especially for its time.
Mm.
And on PS1, Medal of Honor. It wasn't a simulator by any means, but you know, it was a fun game. The second version, the Underground, I think it was called, was also pretty good, with the PS1 FPS controls. And Hidden and Dangerous.
Yeah.
I just have this strange memory that whenever I'm playing Hidden and Dangerous, there's Rammstein playing in the background. I always used to just play it all at the same time.
Mercury Marathon was a base for Halo lore. Yes, it was. Yeah, I played a lot of Halo when it came out too. But yeah, Marathon's lore was awesome. Like, it was a super amazing storyline. And I remember it being the most realistic and immersive experience I had ever jumped into on a computer. And looking back on the videos now, it's pretty funny because it's, 2D characters and barely 3D. But it was a fantastic game. What 3D programs do you guys use other than the Arma editor and I guess your own internal tools?
Well, there's a tool for Blender that integrates with Infusion.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, I don't really know what the art department is using.
Yeah, actually, if you want to know, well, I mean, from the modeling perspective, and modding and specifically modeling perspective, there is a modding boot camp on our YouTube channel, and that shows a lot of the tools that our guys use. As far as like screen shooting, I mean, you're just Workbench, right? And then
Just Workbench.
Yeah. Lightroom.
Exactly. I do a screenshot in Workbench and sometimes in the game, and then I just pop it into Lightroom, do some light edits, and yeah, that's it, pretty much. Not just for stills, but for videos as well. The cinematic timeline in Workbench is pretty powerful. I'm gonna do my old school way of capturing Saint-Pierre, if nobody beats me to it, that is. And that is from up the hill, right above it. Just snipe all the enemies and walk into an empty base. If I don't get visited by a gunship Huey again. I didn't grab a radio, did I?
Is that helicopter still following you around?
I don't hear it now. I think he's reloading. He'll be back.
Houdini artist here. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure if Houdini factors in. It rings a bell, though. I don't know. Yeah, check the bootcamp, Mirko, and see what Antonis uses. Because he talks about the tools that they use internally, but he also talks about what you can use instead, which if I could recall correctly, was mostly Blender.
Yeah, because like I said, we already have a tool that works with Infusion
Mm-hmm.
in Blender. Sorry, what was that, man? Now I have both headphones and I can hear you. Sorry again. I think it's... Now I can see alright. I don't want the Huey to see us.
Since Arma games revolve around islands, will future Arma content have more naval units? I can't say, to be honest, and honestly, I don't know. But it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I'm trying to remember. I guess GoldenEye was my first FPS. Yes, GoldenEye was amazing. Also, I love the 4-player split screen, peeking over at your friend's screen or them peeking at yours. I spent many hours in that game.
Oh yeah, I think the Modern Warfare, sorry, Medal of Honor also had split screen multiplayer.
Halo did too originally.
We used to stick like a bed sheet over half of the screen, and one of us was sitting under, the other one was sitting above, and we couldn't see each other's sides of the screen.
I just remember whoever got killed would always say, "You were looking."
Yeah, that's classic.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what a view! That's beautiful.
Missed a turn because it's dark, and I gotta. Oh.
Any more Vixen base game?
Where'd you go?
If it's not in the roadmap,
he's under the map.
it's not confirmed.
Oh no, he's under the car.
Who is?
Are you alive? Where is he?
You ran over your buddy?
I don't know where he is. If I move, he's gone.
Crunch.
Oh, he must have.
Got kicked.
No, he went under the map, I think. Oh no. Fix it, Evan.
I'm sorry. I was working on that one, but then we had to do this stream, and I had to stop my important work on fixing the game.
For some reason, I really love these little mountain paths. They're just so cinematic. Although technical to drive on. Whoop. I could run, but what would be the fun in that? Whoa! I should run. I don't know if you can even. Yeah, you can see it on the stream pretty well.
In Arma Reforger, you can go left and right way too fast and jump too much. Are you guys gonna nerf them to make it more like standard Arma? I don't think so. A lot of people. Again, it's kind of like the AI issue. A lot of people complain AI is too smart. A lot of people say they're too dumb. Some people say Reforger controls are way too slow, and so I don't think we're gonna make them any slower, to be honest.
I've heard people talk about inertia, but it was just talk. I don't know if it's getting implemented. Anyone's working on it.
Yeah, a lot of these topics you guys bring up, which are all like really good questions, are things that we
still alive. Nice.
Discuss internally, and there's lots of back and forth about them. And usually, when we decide to do something, it's after lots of opinions on both sides have battled it out, and we've settled on something that's an acceptable solution. Have we thought about reaching out to Frankie on PC to endorse Reforger? We don't really reach out to get influencers to do stuff and like ask them to do stuff. We don't pay any of them. So if they play, and that's cool. And sometimes we'll get in touch and say, hey, thanks, and we'll continue some cooperation or something. But have we
ever done that?
I mean, we've reached out to be like, hey, thanks for streaming it, or we've given game codes, to say, hey, if you want to try it, maybe. But we don't usually say, hey, do you want to cover it? It doesn't happen that way. Which is around, what was it, PS5 launch?
Yeah, that's
a lot of people are saying, oh, there's a huge campaign where we paid all these people. We didn't pay anyone. It's just that a lot of people started playing the game, and I think once the servers filled up, then it kind of had a bandwagon effect that a lot more people started playing the game, and then a lot of people started coming back to the game, and then it kind of snowballed, and then a lot of streamers started covering it and realizing why it's such an awesome game. If I do say so myself.
It's alright. I like playing it.
Yeah, no, we love Frankie, Justin. Just to be clear, but yeah, we're not in touch at this point.
All right, so we're at what, 400-ish? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame we took out talking on enemy radios on one hand, but then on the other hand,
it can be enabled on a private server or that was such a lame shot. Come on, stop moving. There you go. It can be enabled on a custom server or a private server. It's just disabled on the vanilla servers because people.
Yeah,
some people are
exactly
to have nice things.
And if you think about it, like it is just basically a trolling mechanic. So it kind of makes more sense for us to take it out of official servers.
Is he 300 meters? How tall are you? No, it's a little under 400, so I have to aim a little lower.
Yeah, for those who don't know, what are you doing there with that sight?
So you have this line, at the bottom left corner with a 1.7, and the curved line above it, and you're supposed to put a standing person between those two lines, and whichever number he's standing under, that's how many 100 meters they are far away. So if that guy, I don't know if you can see him, stop for a second, he's crouching right now, but if he was standing, it would be showing that he's about 400 meters away. And also you can hold middle mouse button to illuminate it to get a little better aim. But when it's super dark, I like to keep it off because it's actually blinding in some cases. Come on, stop moving. Catch this bullet. There you go. Is he dead? Yes, he did that. Yeah, and both snipers have their pros and cons in the game. Like the M21 for the Americans, first of all, it has a zoom sniper. I mean zoom scope, so you can go from 3 to 9x, which is pretty useful. And it also has a 20 round magazine. But on the other hand, the iron sights on the SVD are cleaner, and the scope can 0 all the way to 100, whereas the M21 starts at 300, so it's not too good for like close range.
Run operations, LAV, periscopes. Yes, periscopes are in the works. So,
He's on the way.
yes, we can't give an ETA, but they're in the works. So, why was the ability to hold talk on radios removed? Yeah, this one was a surprisingly controversial removal of a feature. The reason is because when we let people just have, leave caps lock on, a lot of people were doing that, and just you could hear them breathing and munching
Chewing.
on Doritos, yeah, while they're playing. So it turned out to be pretty annoying, and we figured a good fix for this, because a lot of people were complaining about it, was to just make it so you got to hold the button. So you got to hold the button. So we didn't expect. Well, actually, one person in particular was very angry about that, if you remember.
Yeah.
But there was some backlash about that one. But we thought this was a better solution than leaving it, because it was an issue.
There was backlash, but it was welcomed by a lot of people, me included, because it was just constant noise on the radio. It was one of the main reasons why I always switched my radio off or just dumped it as soon as I got in a match, because it was just, you could just hear people's children screaming in the background and dogs barking. Oh no!
Yeah, children.
He just stole my base. We're not getting the captain this round.
All right. Well, why don't you go start running some supplies or something?
Yeah, I guess I'll have to.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more people. That's why it was so quick.
Yeah. So, do you play Reforger with your daughter?
We actually did a few times.
Yeah.
She really likes driving in Sharka or just going for a swim.
What is she, 3 years old?
Yeah.
That's
well,
about the
almost
time to
4.
get started. If she wants to get those hours up, I think now is the time.
Alright, let's run some supplies. Well, we still have Vernon to capture, unless they already got it. Yeah, they already got it. They got everything down here. Okay, we're not making it to captain this round. Yeah, we've been streaming for a while now. So let's find a truck, run some supplies, see if that works.
Mm.
There may be a truck in Saint Pierre. We always have a luck for nighttime and streams, don't we? Klamoch was in pitch black night last time.
Mm.
Bayoneting, or trying to bayonet people.
That's right. He got a few.
Yeah,
he got a few. He
One-
did well.
Yeah, he did one perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I was off my game with sniping today, man. I was missing so many shots.
Well, one of these
You make
days,
me nervous.
maybe I'll have to show you how it's done.
Yeah. You make me nervous, looking over my shoulder.
Sorry.
My hands were shaking.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell.
Please give me a truck.
If there's one thing you could change about Reforger, what would it be?
That's a good question. Oh, maybe that one. Is that a cargo one or transport one?
Yeah, it is a good question.
Cargo, cool. We can do supplies.
One thing.
One thing. I would make the servers 1,000 players each.
1,000 players each.
That would be awesome.
Actually, you know what? Actually is probably close to my answer too. Though, like I would like to see 128 player servers.
No, more.
Well, 1,000. I mean, come on, but at least 128 on official servers. Who knows if that's gonna happen? It's been discussed. We'll see. But that's one thing that I would really like to see, because some of the best PlayStations I've had were on larger official servers.
That's probably the one thing, yeah, like up the player count. Oh,
Is Arma 3 still supported? Yes, it is.
still getting updated.
Yeah. There's a new release candidate out now that you can try, and that full update will be coming soon. TM. So, but yeah, it's still getting updates.
That's a pretty big update that's coming, actually.
Yeah. Are tracked VIX coming soon, or a system for them? No comment. Larger servers aren't there because of performance or another reason? Yeah, it's basically performance. I mean, community servers manage to do it, but a lot of them remove AI. So it's about kind of striking the balance for our servers and with full AI and 128 players and getting it to run smoothly. And so that's the question as to how to do that well. And yeah, we're working on it. And removing AI is not an option. For official servers, we got to have the official full, Arma Reforger experience with full AI.
There's already a limit on AI. Yeah, removing it would just change the game too much.
Yeah, exactly. 1,000 will just ruin the gameplay balance. I think he was joking, but I mean, I think it might be a bit much. You silly goose. What's the difference between small barracks and large barracks?
How much supplies they can hold, and every single service you build on the base, like radio tower, arsenal, barracks, hospital, all of this affects the capture time of each base. So we need a fuel depot. I don't want to block the road. Let's put it here.
So larger barracks, more supplies, more capture time?
Well, you have two separate barracks, and they each count as one service. So when you have two of them, the base takes even longer to capture. They give you spawn spots. So when you have enemies, close by or sniping into your base, it gives you extra few spots where you can spawn. So they can't really predict where you're gonna be spawning. And yeah, especially the amount of supplies they can hold. Because the small barracks, they hold 400, I think, 500, whereas the big ones can hold over 3,000 supplies. You have to deliver them, but they can hold. Of course, he's back.
The helicopter?
Yeah. Let's decommission this, get some supplies in here. Boom. I'm already a lieutenant, so I could grab a PKMN. That could be fun. But let's do this. I'm pretty sure guys want to have some fun. Let's give them a helipad.
Mercury, yes. Barracks also reduce the supply cost for spawning on
But
them.
that's no different between the small ones and the big ones. They both cut your supply spawn cost in half. So when I saved my loadout, it was 101 supplies. If I spawn at a base that has barracks, it's only 50 supplies. 51, I don't know how.
Can you spawn on bunkers at bases?
Yes. You can't choose where you spawn. It's randomly chosen.
But you could spawn in a bunker.
But you can spawn in a bunker. So bunkers are also a good spawn point. Yeah, we're not gonna make the captain in reasonable time frame today. But we're already lieutenant, so let's grab a PKMN and go have some fun.
Yeah. Let's go kill people.
Yes. Is there an arsenal somewhere?
Will AI in your command be able to give you ammo and items in the future? I don't know. I suspect that is not planned for Reforger. It's a cool feature, though. It's actually a very good idea, but I'm not aware of any discussions about that for Reforger. Would it be effective if you had some of the guys?
Oh, they just placed it. Sorry, what was the question?
I don't know.
I'll get you something better.
What would be effective if you asked some of the guys from my community is just to have one guy who would be a platoon leader and maybe a voting system for that so we could vote them off if they are bad. Yeah, that's one way to do it, and there is a major feature planned in the future.
It's got a scope.
To do with HQ command, and I can't give details about exactly how that'll work, but yeah, it's having a higher commander role in conflict would be a very good idea, and we've got a whole team looking into how to do that well.
It's gonna be expensive loadout.
Will there be civilians roaming during conflict? Not for Reforger, probably. So that's that. Do you know if Arma 4 is going to be in the modern era? I can't answer Arma 4 questions, so we'll have to wait and see.
100 round PK bolt. I don't have a flashlight. There's a difference. If you don't have a flashlight and you open your map, it's pretty dark. But if you do have a flashlight and open your map, you can actually see.
Nice.
Alright, we're very far away from everything. I can try respawning and just going for it. Or we can try flying. I can fly. Landing's a different story. We may be out of supplies. Yeah, they're not loading. Oh, there we go. Let's take a gunship. We got a couple of guys here.
Hey, big bad.
Just a warning, I'm not too good at landings, but we should survive. Should is the key word.
That's a very noble disclaimer.
Where's the lights? There. Oh, nope. Once you see 100% here on this dial, you know you're fast enough. There you go. Your rotor's fast enough.
Why no BI studio in London? If no Brexit, I would totally work for you guys. Yeah, I mean, we don't have that many branches. So we've got, what, Prague, Brno, Thailand,
And Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's it. So it's,
And Mniszek.
Well, yeah, Prague and Mniszek, which is outside of Prague. But yeah, I mean, I don't think BI London's in the cards. It would be cool. I wouldn't mind going there. But if you do want to work for us, moving to the Czech Republic, it's a great place. I've been here for 18 years, and I wouldn't live anywhere else. Well, actually, I don't know. I might live in like New Zealand or something. But no, Czech Republic is a fantastic place.
Yeah, it's kind of growing on me.
After what?
5 years. Yeah.
35 years, right?
No, I lived in London for like 10
that's
years.
right. Yeah, that's right.
I was a visitor here in Prague.
Do I speak Czech? Yes, I do. But Andre speaks better than me because he is Czech.
That's debatable.
Debatable.
I can say Kirci Palba.
Say ty vole.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I'm flying, where I'm taking the guys. Let's try for... Hey, hospital's within range if they don't take our antenna.
So,
It's a tall order, but we can try.
in which way is Arma 3 still better than Reforger? That is not a simple question, but that is a good question. A lot of people debate it a lot, and I think the shortest possible answer is it's the sheer amount of stuff that's available for Arma 3. as in mods and DLCs and CDLCs, but also the fact that it has an editor. GM in Reforger can't do nearly as much as Eden can. So if you're running milsim operations, especially like PvE stuff, Arma 3 still is the choice of many milsim communities around the world as a result.
Reforger does have the scenario framework in the workbench, which can do more than the editor. It's just not as straightforward to use.
Yeah.
You do need some background to use it well. And there are some really nice scenarios that people are making in the workbench for Reforger. But yeah, Arma 3 has been around for much longer, and it has had much more content made for it.
Yeah.
Since it came out.
Arma 2 had a single-player conflict mode with AI commanders and AI squads. Is that maybe considered for Reforger 2? It's not. I think it was an idea that was kicked around, but it's not within the scope of Reforger, as far as I'm aware. Do you know anything that I don't?
About single player? Or?
Single player conflict mode with AI commanders and AI squads.
You can play single player conflict.
Well,
I do it every once in a while. It's actually pretty hard, because when you're playing on your own against AI, you don't have for example, the AI limit, so there's a lot more FIA around, and they do counterattack often. It's pretty interesting, and from what I've heard, the HQ commander should work the same way it does in multiplayer and single player, no? The one that's coming in one of the future updates.
I don't know how much we're allowed to say about
Yeah, exactly.
it. Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna try landing somewhere a little safer. Now that it's announced that we're actually coming, we're just flying right over their base. The most intelligent way. Whoa! Trees! Whoa! That was close. There we go. We got this. Told you I'm not a good lander. No!
7 Deer 7.
There we go.
And is somehow a question which the devs always avoid.
Told you what's
What question? What question do we avoid? So I can avoid it again. What is the best of the 3 factions you
Military
think?
hospital? Let's try.
That's a tough question. What do you think, Andra? Best of the 3 factions.
300 meters from the ridge line to military hospital. Throw the radio down. So if you're in the Sigma's group, you can spawn on it.
Sigma's group. Best of the 3 factions? All of them. Americans have the M21. They have the Jeep, the M151, which is hands down the best off-road vehicle in the game. They have the M249, which you can get as a private, and it's a badass gun. They have the LAV. They have really good camo right from the start. Russians or Soviets, they have the SVD. They have the PKMN. The Mi-8 is a tank. BRDM is really fun to use. Buchanka, I don't need to say more. And FIA, VZ58 is just an awesome gun. They also have an SVD. And you can't deny the drip, man. The Alpenflagge camo is just awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. We might have to don some in a future stream.
Yeah.
Okay, auto exposure gone when? Yeah, no, we have seen this question a lot. And it's not something that we're avoiding because it's not really an auto exposure feature. It's a combination of a lot of things, and it's something that with a lot of things, or like with a lot of other things, it's not a question of just getting rid of the auto exposure that is implemented in the game. It's a question of rebalancing how your eyes adjust, quote unquote, in the game. So that's my very non-technical understanding of it, but it's not something that we can just flip on and off.
I'm having a hard time seeing with this light in my face.
Will there be a British faction in the future? No more factions are planned for Arma Reforger. But there's a great British Forces mod. That's by Tepache Loco, isn't it?
Tepache Loco and Chaos.
And Chaos, yeah.
They just made a really nice Land Rover.
Fantastic British Forces faction. Yeah, and after we begged for a Land Rover, well, I'm sure they already had it in the works for a while before we said something about it, but they're putting in a Land Rover. They just told us today on Twitter, and we retweeted it, so
For some unknown, mysterious reason, there's a bunch of us here in this dark forest with no lights, nothing, but there's a Huey circling us. I wonder how he knows we're here.
Man,
Well, now he does. Turn that off. Alright, there it is. PKMN is my second favorite Russian gun. Come on, man, turn it off.
anti-air tools are not in the roadmap. So yeah, none of those. And actually, you know, if you ever want to check, I think it's what reforger.armaplatform.com/roadmap. Maybe I can slap that into the chat.
Yeah, pop it in there.
Yeah.
There are some things that are not on the roadmap that already have released.
Yeah, and there always could be others, but yeah, it's.
Well, the Huey knows we're here, so we might not live long, but let's try.
70 or 7. No, I hadn't already answered that question. I meant we've gotten this question in the past and answered it to other people, but yeah, no, you didn't miss anything or ask it again, so don't worry about it.
Take down the antennas as soon as you can. Nope, too high. Nope, too high. Sometimes it works. Alright, we need to get closer to the HQ tent to cap as well. And we need someone to take care of the antennas. All of them, if there's more.
But doesn't that mean you're capturing?
Nope. It shows you that friendly forces are capturing, but it doesn't always mean... Oh, I don't have a room in my back. I got too many. There we go. But you have to be within 50 meters of the HQ tent to actually, proactively be the one capping. It will be changed in the future update, that it will be more clear that friendly forces are capturing or you are capturing. But right now you just need to know you need to be within 50 meters of the command tent. Alright, no antennas, so they got no connection. In case we stop capping, they can't respawn. Let's kill all the lights, because we don't want them to see us. And we just lost signal because they captured Unto-Do. I was kind of expecting that, but still give it a try.
So, which is why Arma 0123 is superior compared to Reforger, because Reforger is just a test bed. So I wouldn't really say that, Anonymous888. As in, Reforger was always meant as to be an intermittent title and the first, attempt at creating something on the Infusion engine. But somehow this testbed phrase got thrown around. We have meant it to be a full game, but yeah, it doesn't have the single player campaign, and it doesn't have the full-fledged editor, which are two hallmarks of full-fledged Arma titles. So in that sense, it's not as complete a game, but it's become one of our most popular, and in some ways is arguably superior to the previous titles. But yeah, it doesn't have those two things, which a lot of people are lacking.
It's down to these two guys. If they capture Unto-Do and hold it, we'll get signal. They just need to hold it.
Yeah, and it runs smoother, like you said.
That's the thing, because it's on a new engine that's built for modern rigs. It can utilize the processor much better. It just has better spawning, despawning things. So I hear a Huey.
And even though, I'm no modder, but even though a lot of Arma 3 modders are still, hesitant to make the switch to Reforger, from what I've heard from a lot who have made the switch, Workbench offers a lot compared to, in some ways, compared to what you would have to do similar things in Arma 3. Stream snipe this. Oh,
yeah. Of course. Typical. Is he enabled? I mean, loadout's too expensive. So I'm gonna spawn at main base. I'm also gonna grab an RPG just in case. Where am I? Oh, I'm far. Okay. And I'm gonna transfer to my radio. It's not gonna cost any supplies.
Dude, and we got to go to a meeting soon. But yeah, we can go for a
Oh,
little bit.
damn.
Okay,
Yeah. Right, last try.
Last
no,
try,
I don't want
sure,
radio.
sure.
I want the RPG. Last attempt. If I die, we call it map. Request transport on the radio. I just need to find my position. Boom. Magic. I just teleported. Because Arma is a realistic military sandbox. I just heard a big explosion, so I think they took the helicopter down.
Huh? That's what you get.
Unless it's explosions from the rockets.
Are there any plans for use of client-side mods? You know what? That's a question I'm not qualified to answer. Yeah, but next time Klamach is on here, grill him with that. He'll have a better answer than I could give.
It's a dark night. Can you even see anything over there?
I mean, not really. A little.
Yeah, and I killed all the lights in the base, so we're not easy targets. I mean, didn't stop the guy in the heli, but... I see a light. That's the harbor. This is the road. Oh, there's a helicopter lifting up from Mo. Can hear it.
Any optimizations for explosion from heli missiles? I am not aware of exactly what the optimizations will be, if there will be any, but we know there are some areas that there's some room for improvement with helicopters in general, and especially with rockets.
Hey, we got signal. Look at him shoot at me directly. I betcha. Come on out. Oh, there he is. Look at him, look at him.
Yeah, he
And-
knows. He knows.
Oh, now he's...
Oh!
Ooh, that was close. Oh, Xolox died. I'm hitting him. At least.
You only brought one rocket?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got my backpack's full of ammo for this
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Man, you can't really see much through this. It's a big scope on there. I think it might be better if I...
How often are we doing these streams? Hopefully more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just decided to hop in and play a bit. We'll probably do them a little more often than we have been doing. Thanks for streaming today. Thank you guys for watching.
I mean, I didn't make it to captain,
Yeah.
but I did make it to lieutenant pretty fast.
Yeah, there were some
So-
hitches in our plan.
That unlocked pretty much everything I needed.
But also, you know, you...
Actually, not even in a supply truck. So it was pretty quick. And there we go.
And maybe that's a good time to call it.
I think that it is.
It is. So, thanks everyone for watching. We hope you found it entertaining. We had fun. Next time, maybe learn something from the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. OV.
We'll have to find a server that no one else can find.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty impossible.
Nah, I mean,
Streams.
I guess stream sniping's kind of fun, anyways. So, anyways, yeah, we're gonna try and do these streams a little bit more often. We have fun doing them. We hope you had fun watching, and I guess until then, we'll see you on the battlefield.